Thank you for listening to the Cat Breeder Sensei Podcast, Episode 4. This is the show that supports the reputable breeding of pedigree cats. I'm your show host, April Catito, and this episode is all about the expenses involved in running a successful cattery. We will get into all of this juicy stuff right after this short message.
Do you want to learn how to become a successful breeder of pedigree cats? Now you can. For the first time ever, enroll in an online training course that takes you step by step through everything you need to know to get on the right track. Visit catbreedersensei.com to sign up today and use code PODCAST21 to get $25 off.
Okay, we're back. Let's break down the list of items and some of the expenses that you will need to prepare for and budget into your business plan. Let's start with cat food. So the cost to feed your cats is going to vary, certainly depending on a variety of factors. What kind of food do you choose for your cats? How many cats do you have? And if you have litters of kittens on the ground or not. So what to feed your cat and providing a healthy diet is one of those controversial topics in the cat breeder world. Some breeders are totally adamant that feeding a raw diet is the best option, and others will disagree with that. Whatever you choose to feed to your cats is their daily diet. Just remember that cheap is never good, and good is never cheap. Next on the list is cat litter. Again, this is something else that is total personal preference by the breeder. It can range from a few bucks a month all the way up to a few $100s a month, depending on the type of litter that you're using and how many cats that you have. There are so many choices and options of litter on the market today that it's almost like the food. It's just overwhelming to try to choose what litter is going to work the best for me. You'll most likely go through a testing phase of several different types of litter that are on the shelf and in the websites and Amazon and Chewy and things until you find what works the best for your cats and for you. So that's really going to be the indicator of your recurring cost, because it's something that you have to continually buy. It's never going to end. I'd like to mention here that kittens should never use clumping litter. If it's ingested, it will get hard inside their intestines and could cause a blockage. So if you choose clumping litter for your adults, that's perfectly fine, but make sure that you're not using clumping litter for your kittens. Next, we'll talk about vitamins and supplements. So this is also a controversial topic. Some breeders feel like cats don't need any supplementing at any point of their breeding careers, while others will definitely supplement with vitamins and lysine and other things like that. There's extra nutrients for pregnant and lactating cats, and there's just all kinds of products on the market for this. So again, your personal choice. It's always best to do what agrees with your cat the best. So if you get a positive response by using supplements after you've done some very diligent research on the product, then by all means use the supplement. I have a couple that I like to use, and so do some of my breeder friends. But again, if you choose vitamins or supplements for your cats, then that will probably be a recurring cost to you on a monthly basis. All of your cats will need cat trees and scratching post. And two different elements here, but a cat tree is one of the most essential items for your cats. They like to get up high. They like to climb. They like to look down on their environment, just like a natural cat in the wild would climb up into a tree like a jaguar and watch from below. Our cats like to do that as well. So a cat tree is essential, and preferably one tree per cat. They can become quite possessive of their cat tree and have their favorite spots and get offended if one of their roommates happens to be in their perch. So have multiple cat trees in your cattery and for your kittens. Now, cat trees aren't going to be a recurring expense like cat food and cat litter, but your cat trees will get worn out and they'll get torn up, and you'll find yourself having to replace them every so often. Scratching posts are also essential. They use these to scratch their claws and remove the outer layer of their claws. So if you find cat claws laying around on the floor, it's probably usually going to be close to that scratching post. They also use it to relieve stress. So many benefits in having a scratching post in your cattery and in your nursery for the kitties. Your cats will need enrichment through the use of toys, balls, feather sticks, interactive toys, things that are engaging. I like to see work for treat toys where you can put treats inside the little mazes or the little mouse, and they actually have to work to get the treat out. Those are cool. And there's lots of electronic toys that you can use to entertain your cats for hours. They really need this to have an enriched life. They need some engagement, some entertainment. They can get bored easily, and if they do, then they may be mischievous. Veterinary care is certainly on our list of expenses. That's going to be a regular and recurring cost. You will find yourself at the vet probably more than you like. All of your kittens will need to be examined by a veterinarian and certified as healthy before they leave your cattery. They need vaccines, and then your adults will need their regular annual checkups. And then some additional things like echocardiograms, blood work, x-rays to check for hip dysplasia, whatever health issue that your specific breed deals with, you'll want to take your cat to the vet and have it screened for any signs of those conditions on a yearly basis. Then any treatments for your cats are going to be on your expense list as well. Flea and tick prevention should be on your list as a regular recurring expense. And then the cost to raise a litter of kittens. So just take everything we just mentioned, but smaller stuff, okay? The kittens are going to need all of their own cat food, their own cat litter, the special non-clumping kind, smaller toys, smaller cat trees. You want to buy smaller cat trees for your kittens to avoid injury, because they have no fear. They will climb to the highest heights and then just dive right off of that, and that's not always the best idea for little kittens. So make sure that your cat trees for your babies are lower heights. Usually 36 to 42 inches is a very good height, and probably the max that I would recommend in the nursery for raising a litter of kittens. Now, if you want to see something real cool, lesson 1 of the complete guide to breeding online cats, there is an awesome worksheet for you to download and calculate the cost to own a cat, as well as the cost to raise a litter of kittens, particularly the cost per kitten. So you can take all of these expenses that we mentioned and several more, some of the things that are actually involved in breeding, like registering litters and the cost of a spay and neuter of retired cats and acquiring cats. You can put all of that into the spreadsheet that's provided in lesson 1 of the course, and it will actually immediately spit out a number for you and tell you, based on the expenses that you're entering into this worksheet, this is going to be your cost per kitten. So you'll be able to see an actual number of what it's going to cost you to raise up one single kitten. And that will kind of give you an idea of where your pricing should be in your cattery, and what the actual expense is going to be to raise this kitten up. So it's a pretty cool worksheet that some people find very, very eye-opening. You can find that course on our website at catbreedersensei.com. Just click on courses and you can see the entire outline for the breeding course. It's a really awesome course for breeders who are just starting out, or anyone who feels like they need some additional training to improve their practice as a pedigree cat breeder. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Cat Breeder Sensei Says. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on the next episode, and share our podcast with your friends. I'll see you next time, and until then, make a positive impact in the world of breeding pedigree cats.